going. Okay, now it is. Did you get any kind of notification, or it still looks the same for you?
It doesn't. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. It says we're live, so that means
Okay.
it's officially.
Oh, mine does say live at the top now. So.
Okay, so that means that I should be able to send the YouTube link later.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
There's Christy.
Well, I see her. There she is.
And look, she looks gorgeous. What is this?
As always.
You're muted. You're muted.
Wait for it. You're still muted.
Waiting for it.
No.
Nothing. We're frozen. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get rolling since we're officially recording now. And get going.
Am I starting?
Yes, you're starting, I think.
All right. So at these meetings, we always, Megan and I usually talk about something that we can kind of share as kind of leader development, professional development kind of thing. I am not usually a person who loves motivational books or things like that, but I read this one right here. I know we have the book club or whatever and 704 Wax, but I read this Girl Wash Your Face, and by read I mean listen to it on audiobook. I listened to this in a day, maybe less than 24 hours. I started it and I loved it. So one of the things that struck me from this, I mean, a lot of it struck me, but as far as our Norwex businesses go, and just professionally, was this chapter called I Need to Make Myself Smaller. So if you didn't read the book, each chapter is kind of a lie that the author said she believed, and then kind of how she worked through it and things that helped her kind of realize that those things weren't necessarily true. So this one is called, the chapter is chapter 12, called I Need to Make Myself Smaller. So that, to me, is not something I've really thought a whole lot about. I recently, Sarah Johnson, I don't know if she's going to get on here live or not. I know she'll watch later, but she went live and talked about this thing about making ourselves feel smaller too. So I know it struck a chord with her too. The chapter talks about, she says people ask her what Rachel Hollis does. I think we need a call again. Can you answer, April?
Yes.
Maybe just send her the link again. I don't know.
Okay. The link again. Hang on. Go ahead. You keep going.
So Rachel Hollis is a kind of like a media mogul at this point. She's written quite a few books, and she's got a really successful blog, millions of visitors a day and all this. And she said that people ask her what she does, and she'll just nonchalantly say, oh, I have a lifestyle blog, and that's it. When really she's got this super successful company. She's got a staff of, I think she said 11, these huge clients that she has taken on, millions of visitors every day, all while she's raising her babies. So really that's something you should really be proud of. And, you know, when somebody asks you what you do, you should, you know, tell the truth, but we don't. Megan and I have had the conversation 1,000,000 times about what do we say when somebody asks us, you know, what we do. I still don't have a good answer. So if y'all do, please share it. But she was talking about how to say, oh, well, I have a team of 300 people or whatever, and I am a boss, basically makes you feel like you're sounding boastful or arrogant when you say that. But really we're kind of making ourselves small, smaller than we, okay, sorry, I get distracted when I see the text come through. Smaller than we are and smaller than we should be. We should be proud that we have goals. We should be proud of what we've built with these teams. And you shouldn't be, oh, there she is. Hey, April. Just talking about Girl Wash Your Face. I'm talking about the chapter about not making yourself small. And then
can you send that link to Suzanne too? Because we were in our own separate call.
Okay. Yeah. Can you send it to her, Megan? Thank you. Sorry. When I get off track, then I lose my spot. No, you're fine. So a lot of times when people ask us these things, we feel like we're being arrogant by saying, you know, what we actually are doing with our Norwex businesses. That really struck me because I am the queen of, oh, I do this Norwex thing on the side. Like, I'm a mom, but I do this Norwex thing on the side. And it really is a lot more than that. So she talks about making yourself small and performing just enough to gain people's attention, but not truly being yourself. For the fear of what everybody would think of the real you and the real reason that we're doing this, and the real, not just Norwex, but the real reason we're doing a lot of things. So who are we really is the kind of question that she posed. A lot of us have tons of goals and dreams with this business, but we shouldn't be afraid to say them out loud. Another thing, I have a asterisk beside this. She says, I cannot continue to live as half of myself simply because it's hard for others to handle all of me. I really like that. But where it really, hey, Suzanne.
Hey. Hey.
I'm just talking about the one of the chapters from Girl Wash Your Face. That kind of struck me. I'm choppy. I don't know what to do because I'm right beside my router. Rachel Hollis in this chapter actually talked about speaking at a conference, at a direct sales conference, and overhearing the women saying, oh, this is just my hobby, or this is just something I do on the side, or my job as a mom, but this is a really cool side gig and stuff like that. And I know that we all, especially, I know that I have said those exact things about 1,000,000 times. But she said, in reality, these women were making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I guess they were all Chris Carlsons. You know, not wanting to say, like, here's what I'm actually doing. So she posed a question that I thought was really good. How can people who don't understand your goals and what you're doing be fully supportive? They can't if they don't know, you know, what we're kind of what our goals are and what we're doing. She said, I love this. So, do you really think God made you uniquely wonderful you in hopes that you'll deny your true self because it might be off-putting to others? I love that. So are we calling our businesses just a hobby because we worry what people will say, or because it's, you know, it helps keep people's expectations low? I love that too, because I do think sometimes I personally downplay it, because if I try to say, you know, it's this huge thing or whatever, then I feel like it makes people have high expectations from where it's going to go in the future. And I definitely know that direct sales have a stigma behind them. We've all gotten those kind of cold calls or cold messages from people we hadn't talked to since high school, who all of a sudden want to talk about who knows what, and then it, you know, turns into a pitch for whatever they're selling. So a lot of times I just assume that people are going to think that about this job. So I don't tell them what I actually do, or I try to just make it sound like it's something way smaller than it is. She says that your dreams for yourself are not silly. They are the roadmap to your divine calling. That sounds a little bit cheesy to me, but it's true. You know, what you dream of, what you want for this business makes up the roadmap for, you know, where you're supposed to be. So don't let somebody's opinion of you determine your worth. She didn't say this, but one of my favorite quotes is, someone else's opinion of you is none of your business. I love that. And I think it's especially true for us in this business. So kind of to wrap it up, the things that she said helped her were a willingness to offend. And that's not like to offend people, like, you know, telling a bad joke or something like that, but to stop trying to be a people pleaser. For a lot of us, that's really hard. Women in general, for sure. I know not everybody's going to like you, and not everybody's going to be supportive of, you know, us in this business or anything, and, you know, everything in life. There'll be people who don't agree with you, and we have to be okay with that. We have to be unabashedly ourselves and unabashedly willing to share the business and share what we're doing with everybody. That will help us be the best versions of ourselves. She said another thing that helped her was making a bold statement. We get to decide who we are, so put it out there. Don't be afraid to put it out there. I'm saying this to myself just as much as I'm saying it to anybody else, because I do not do that, and definitely know that I need to work on doing that. We also get to decide what kind of business we want to have, how big we do this. And one thing that I think is important for me to say is I never. Yes. I don't know who's saying this. I see the chat. Oh, it's Megan. One thing I think is important for me to say is I've never been the one to do 12, 15, 20 parties a month. I don't want to do that. And I need to not be ashamed that I don't want to do that. My kids are still little and I still have a lot of other things that I want to spend my time on. So we need to be proud that we can make this whatever we want to make it. I don't want to be doing a party every single night because we have soccer and t-ball and all that stuff going on with my kids. So don't be ashamed if you do want to do 20 parties a month. If you do, that's awesome, and we'll be your biggest cheerleaders. But if you don't be ashamed for that either, if you've got other things that are super important to you. Let's see. The last thing she said is that helped her, and I totally agree with this now. There was a point in my life when I probably didn't, but she said an encounter with a guru, meaning podcasts, books, trainings, conferences. Can I say that again? Conferences, leadership conference, national conference. Those are the things those are the places and resources that we can use to kind of draw whatever we need from. We're not going to get, we're not going to follow and believe every single word of everything that we listen to on a podcast or at a conference or something like that. But we can pull what we need at that specific moment from those things. So this book, Girl Wash Your Face book, I got a lot from it. But there was a lot that I rolled my eyes at. I'm not going to lie. There was a lot that I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. That doesn't really apply, or I don't agree with that. That's okay. But like just this one chapter spoke so hugely to me that I'm so glad I read the whole book. And same thing at conferences. There's plenty of things we go to that I'm like, well, that doesn't really apply to us, but a lot of it does. And like I said, I've always been kind of skeptical about those things. I think a lot of it is a little bit cheesy, but Norwex does it pretty great at the conferences. And any of you guys who've been to them before can definitely attest to that. That we have leadership conference coming up. It's actually in Phoenix in January. So I know Megan and I have already registered for that. I'm not sure who else has so far. But I really recommend you guys going to that. Okay, I think that's about it for the notes on the book. If anybody has anything to add about any of that, Megan did. Her chat went away, so I can't see it now. But anything else that you want to say about the book or about anything that I just said, please feel free to add. After this, we're going to kind of get into some more calendar type things and planning type things for our meetings. Anybody? All right, so I think April is up next. Is that right, Megan? I don't have the thing pulled up. Sorry. Yes. Yep. All right. You good, April? You're still muted. Maybe. I think so.
There we go.
There you go. There you go.
Does it matter if we're vertical or horizontal?
No.
I thought I remember that. Okay. Hey, in all my glory. No sleep last night. I'm glad you love that book. Me too. And I think that it would be great for you to talk about it at the team meeting if you're up for it. Because that was pretty, I mean, that was very well said. So I got, and I agree with so much of it. So, okay, next month we're going to do a team celebration month, or paired up, and offer kind of the same thing as promotion month, but we're going to offer little prizes every day to get people engaged. And then at the end of the week, each jacket leader is going to do their own individual drawings for their downlines. I think Megan's working on the graphics, and Denise and Jennifer Love have been very involved with this, and that's awesome. I love doing something with them. So we'd like for everybody's participation, leaders, to stay in contact with your downlines. And it's not, we don't want to pressure people. We just want to get people excited and involved and encouraged them to participate. We want to get them engaged. This is we've talked about doing this twice a year right now. It may bump up to 4 times a year, but if we're doing it every 6 months, we're going to help people get engaged that were possibly dormant and get them reactivated or prevent them from going dormant. And then it will help for promotions. So our lower level promotions, maybe some TCs or senior sales leaders. Sorry. And I'm not sure how this will play with some of the higher leaders, going for bigger promotions in the future, but we don't know. We're playing this by ear. This is our first month. We're going to give it a try, and I'm excited about it because I think it also builds some team excitement. Right? Yay, team! What else am I supposed to talk about? Any questions on that? Do we have a feed in here? Am I supposed to be able to see questions or people just talk? I'm so old. I feel like I've discovered Skype for the first time.
People can just talk. You can unmute yourself if you want to say something. Or I think there is a chat, but it comes up weird. I think it's easier to just talk.
So does anybody have any questions about Team Celebration Month?
So us jacket leaders will all be covering all the prizes, but we definitely need you guys to encourage your team to participate and to get engaged. I mean, obviously it helps y'all too when they engage.
So when is that happening?
Next month.
Next month.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be all, and it will be all month. It'll be from the 1st to the 31st.
Low in participation, and I was just reaching out to probably 6 of them that are about to go dormant, and it's like, and I don't know if it's just in my calendar too, just from this past month, getting back into the groove of new routine and everything. I know a couple of my once good downline members are now completely dried up, nothing on their calendars and no real incentive to. So hopefully this will help. But how do y'all propose getting back those people who have almost checked out because they don't feel like they have anything to start with?
I would say a vendor event. I have a couple that are like that, and when I have a vendor event or hear of one coming, that.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just one suggestion that I have, I guess.
Yeah.
And I completely agree. I have a couple of vendor events. October and November are the best time of the year for those. And I specifically chose ones in specific areas that I want to grow in. And that means I'm going in completely raw and don't know anybody. So the goal is to book parties at a vendor event. So yeah, I would recommend that. Look at schools, churches, clubs. Yeah, there's those online North Carolina, South Carolina vendor event opportunities.
Right.
That's my biggest suggestion. But the other thing, Catherine, too, is sometimes people are done. Sometimes their season is done. And I would also encourage you to go with your gut on the energy that you spend on that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, honestly with you, my energy has been just my personal business just because of stage of life. So in my mind, I'm trying not to fault myself for the fact that they're not progressing because I haven't been able to pour into them very much in the past 3 months. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, and your number one priority should be, your number one priority is your family. But for the business side of it, your first priority is your calendar.
Right.
And they're grown-ups. So, you can offer your assistance. There's plenty of opportunity for help within 704 WEX group and Norwex. So if someone really wanted to get busy, they could on their own. Just offer the opportunity, hoping that, how sweet is that?
Oh my.
Hoping the celebration month can maybe get spit up. The participation for the celebration month might give you a better idea of who maybe needs a little that you want to work with some more, or just let go.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's my suggestion.
All right.
Yep. Okay. The other thing I want to talk about real quick is the continuation of the booking blitz. We're going to go through Tuesday, which is tomorrow. And then I just encourage your downlines to continue to book parties. I've been on the phone with a couple of my new people. It seems a little dry this time, but don't get discouraged by that. Maybe my one girl who's super excited, she's like, oh my gosh, there's not been a lot of participation. That means I have lots of opportunity to win. So, I mean, there's always a positive with the negative. But some girls like that competition. So I just would encourage you guys to continue to talk with your downline and about the booking blitz, and just let them know that we are going to continue it through Tuesday for residual bookings. And I think the prize is a $25 Bed Bath and Beyond card. That's it. Any questions about that? What was the participation like from your downlines? Did you notice last night? Were you able to take a look, Christy?
Not a whole lot. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Mine either. Mine either. It's okay. But I did love the people who did participate.
It's one of those things. I don't know when there's a good time. It's, it's a Sunday night. We were driving back when it started from being gone all day. And I'm sure that other people were the same way, and it's the mindset of getting yourself geared up and just making a couple messages, but trying to kind of go back through the post. I mean, I've been trying to share, in the group, and I mean, I think I had some people that said they were going.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was timing this time, whether it was the time of month, the day, the time of night. I don't think so. I think Megan and Stephanie did all the work. I think it was well done, well presented, and a great opportunity. I think, maybe it was just some sort of a fluke night where everybody was like, my people were either in bed or just not home. So I don't know, but it's certainly a good learning experience. And I don't think I would have changed anything. But yeah, just continue them. Just let them know we're going to run through Tuesday, and they still have the opportunity to get for prizes. Okay.
Well,
any questions?
And I think that's the thing of having it extended, because the reality is, I mean, I still had people, I was sending messages in Messenger, and, they hadn't even read the message yet. Or I had even a few that I'm like, are they a yes or a no? Or maybe because they answered all my other questions except the question about, do you want to host a party?
Right.
So that's right. I still throw it out there, their way, but.
Do you guys think that, I know when we usually do these in person at meetings, and have had better success with that. Do y'all think that might be the next,
it could be
the better option?
I think the accountability is better whenever it's in person, because to be honest with you, I feel like online it's way easier just to write it off. Like, we were in the car and traveling, and there was just no way that I was going to be able to do it at that time.
Well, remember how competitive it was last time too? So when you're competing with the girl sitting next to you, whether it was Sarah or Cheryl Ray or whoever was there, they were like, oh my gosh, she got 3. I gotta keep like busting it out. So maybe there's something to be said for that when you're in person, and then people who can't be at the team meetings could jump in and participate online during that hour. So that's just, I don't know, just trying to, I always like to look back and kind of grade ourselves, but I don't have an answer for that. But I'm so excited.
Can I offer something from the other side? This is Ilse.
Sorry?
And this is Ilse. For me, the booking blitz was even not present because, first of all, I came back from a fair, and there's tons of work with follow-up. And then I also had a party yesterday at my house, so I was not present to a booking blitz, and would have been my first one anyway. So I'm not really sure how to do them, what to do, and how to promote it.
Okay, so that's a great question. You were unsure. So I think that there were some instructions posted on our team page or the Blitz page. And honestly, I didn't read through it because I already know what a blitz is. But I think there was a Chris Carlson post on how to do a booking blitz, and then some instructions as well. And this is just feedback. There's no right or wrong answer. Did you know that there were instructions on there? Because we have a lot of new people who don't. I had girls who were like, "What's a booking blitz?" Were you able to read through that at all? Did you know that there were instructions on there?
Sometimes when something is just lengthy, I just turn off. I don't read all of it. But I have listened to Chris, and I've listened to our podcasts, and I've been in different kinds of booking blitzes, not for Norwex, and it's always in person, and the energy in the room that makes the difference for me. So I would say it's like, it's really easy to tune out. It's like, yes, I haven't even been on Facebook all day yesterday, right? So I have to say it's just not real for me right now.
Okay. Okay. And I think that's great feedback. So I appreciate that. That's something for us to talk about.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Send it back to Megan. I don't know what's next. I think Megan's next.
One thing I was going to say, and I don't know if it was Stephanie who put out the the wording and stuff.
Yeah, wasn't that great?
I think that's just a great piece to keep and to save. I'm actually going to copy and paste everything so that I have it in my notes to kind of pull whenever I'm trying to, get up some wording and stuff. There's those posts are packed full of information. Is what, and like Ilsa said, some of them were a little bit lengthy, but there's information to kind of sort through. Good of information.
Themselves, I think. And I appreciate you and just getting started and not know what to say to someone. I totally would have appreciated having that verbiage. Heck, even now I copy and paste from other people's verbiage. So just like you said, yeah, I thought that was a great tool. Thank you, Stephanie. Anything else? And thank you, Christy. Sorry.
Yes, thanks, Stephanie. I loved that. I forwarded it to all my girls, but I don't know who participated and who didn't. I hadn't touched base yet this morning, or afternoon, I should say.
Good. I'm glad it was helpful. I pulled them from about 17 different spots.
Yes, they were.
You can tell there was a lot of work and effort put into that, and it was noticed. So you did good.
Yeah, right. Agreed. I feel like I don't even know what to say sometimes 3 years into it. So I'm copying and pasting a lot of it. So thank you.
I have a question.
Yep.
Does Norwex and events like this, like booking blitzes, do they have a preparation where it's like a clearing space? What do you already have in your space? What are you thinking? What do you want to accomplish? And what do you think will stop you? Is there something like that?
Ask me one more time. Does Norwex have something already planned out for this?
No, it's a clearing. It's a clearing, like when you're getting into a booking blitz and everybody gathers in a room, not on Facebook now. If everybody just has something already stuck in their craw and they want to do it, but they're always hitting the same wall. So having somebody listen to you, what's going on, and it's like, what are you afraid of, or what do you think you can accomplish, and why can't you get there? Like a clearing. It's like, just, okay, let's put this on the table and distinguish what's really there, because that is most of the time is very different to what we want to accomplish. What's really there is like, well, I just want to go through the motions, want to get done with it, or I don't know. Do you have clearings?
I don't think we have anything specifically to what you're describing. What we do, Norwex does offer some booking blitzes that they do online. And then we have done this in the past during, like, taking part of our team meeting and doing it there. And so there's lots of discussion during the team meeting when it's face-to-face, one-on-one, and a group of people about, we're reaching out, how we're reaching out, and kind of, I guess there could be some conversation about those hiccups, but I don't think anything so specific as to what you're describing.
Okay.
But it's a great thought.
Well, this is what's happening with me is when I was at the fair with Rachel, my consultant, I walk away from the booth, I come back, and she hands me the money because she sold something again. And I needed to distinguish that I love my Norwex stuff so much. I don't want to let it go. I don't want to sell it. I was attached to the cloth and special editions and all of that stuff, which Rachel didn't have. She just wanted to sell something, and she was in hog heaven. And once I distinguished that, everything shifted. Does that make sense?
I'll sell anything. I'm not attached to anything.
Great.
Needs to sell it with me. Even my kid. my cloths. My kid. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, Elsa, let's talk about, if you want to have a phone call sometime this week, we can do that. We can talk a little bit more about that. Because I think it's a little more in depth than what we can tackle today for this meeting. If that works out, if that works for you. Are you good with that?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Yeah, because we're running long. Yes, Miss Megan. You ready, Freddie?
All right. Can you hear? Am I good? I think I'm good. I guess too, just on the Booking Blitz thing too, if y'all would just vocalize to us if you don't think you can do it ahead of time, that would be great. So that we don't like get it all ready and then not be as much participation. It would be great, because I felt a little bit silly last night. Leading it and being kind of the face of it, and there not being as much to it. If we had known that, it just wasn't going to work, I feel like we could have maybe tempered it a little bit differently, or pushed it off to October team meeting, or done things like that. But we just weren't getting a whole lot of feedback. It just felt like there were kind of crickets. And so, I don't know how we want to do that in the future, or like what would be good about that. But, is any kind of feedback that y'all can give, or any kind of anything like that would be definitely super helpful.
I don't think it was a jab at the fact that it wasn't going to work, but y'all, I'm so sorry. I think it's just a good learning experience, because we had never done an online one before, so we didn't know if it would or wouldn't work. And because
we did. We had one. We have had them in the past, I guess. And we had a decent amount of participation. That's what I'm saying. I just didn't, that's what I'm saying. I guess from the start, it's just good to have like, are we all in, or are we not all in? And if we're not all in, then we just won't do them. And that's completely great too. I just am afraid that like for us to have it and then for it to like flop like that. I hope, like April said, definitely, I think it's exciting for the people who did do it. Like there's definitely that positive spin. I'm 1,000% for that. But on the other end, I almost am like, gosh, like, is that disheartening for the rest of the team to see? And so that's kind of where I hesitate, I guess, on that.
I think for me, and I posted it to my small little downline group, the way I kind of presented it was that I knew Sunday was probably going to be busy, because I knew we were going to be traveling. But for me, at least, it was kicking the pants to dust off my contacts and my past hostess list and at least revisit it. Maybe I'm not doing it specifically during that hour, but it's just hey, it's time to get back on the train. So I think even if we're not seeing people post and constantly comment, I think you're still making a big impact, if that's the way to phrase it. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's going to be
I love that
trickle down
That's
point.
a great point.
Oh yeah, I definitely get that 1,000%. But I also, yes, I agree so much. I mean, like I said, if we had one booking from it, it's a success. I mean, I feel like, there's a lot to be proud of there and all that. I guess whenever we, that's kind of where the Booking Blitz is different than just checking in with them and encouraging them to do that. It's like it almost pushes them a little bit further than they would have done on their own. And so for them to, do comment or do this. And I know some people are never, ever going to do that. And that's fine too. But, I think there's a lot good here that comes from it. And I think that, whatever, I just, like I said, I was like, I don't know if y'all could see my face, but I was just trying to be positive and upbeat, but I was just kind of like, I don't know what to do with my hands. So anyway, it was just, less than I guess, we did this, we've done them in person, but we did it, I think it was 2 years ago we did it. And we had like, our team was a fraction of the size that it is now. And we had a ton of bookings from it. And so I was hoping that, we would exponentially do that again, because we're all kind of whatever. And I think just, it was just different than what.
I guess one way to look at it too is that since we are so much bigger, do we have a different response, kind of like when Team Aqua does one? How many of us actually participate in the Team Aqua one?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's anything against y'all or what you did.
No, and I don't think I'm taking it. It's not like a personal thing. It's just like a, moving forward, like I don't want to put a ton of effort into it and spend, hours upon end doing it if it's something we're too big for now. And so that was my thing, was that I didn't have any real reason to believe necessarily that we were. So we continued on and got everything ready. And then it was like, I just didn't. Yeah. So just, and that feedback is like what I would like to, we'd love to hear, a week ago, say I'm reached out to my team. Nobody's really responding. I don't know how we want to twist this, and kind of could have pulled the brakes back a little bit. And I mean, I'm guilty as everybody else of, being, my plate is constantly falling. Things are falling off. I get that 1,000%. So, we all, forget to check in with our downlines or last minute or try to whatever. But I think maybe one thing that we, learned maybe from this is maybe just only do them in person from now on. I think that probably is going to be our best bet for reasons that y'all are talking about. Just, you have that camaraderie of competing against the girl beside you and all that, and the excitement behind it, and just a learning process. So.
Yeah, and Megan, I don't think we could have projected a week ago what it would have done or not done. I mean, how many times do we say, hey, this is coming up, that's going on, and we never hear anything, and then you never, it's just like a hostess. You never know who's going to show up. I don't count this as I don't want you to beat yourself up. I don't think this is a failure by any means. I think it's a learning opportunity. And I think that there were some bookings. I think, again, we were getting the team together, and just doing something obviously is good. Maybe online is not what's best for our team. Maybe in person is what's best. But yeah, I just don't know. I don't know that we could have known a week in advance if we were going to have 100 bookings or we were going to have 5, despite talking to our downlines, because we can talk to them all day long and you never know who's going to show up. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it.
Can I put my 2 cents in just because I'm not anywhere near you guys? I liked it in a way just because Good. I could actually interact. I'm all the way down here in Florida, and I mean, I've got a teeny tiny little team, but I have one person that lives 2 hours from me, so I'm not even close. So I don't think we should scrap them, because even though you guys might see more of your local team, there's still a lot of us little branches out here, and maybe we take it and make it go back on some of the smaller groups. I don't know, but I don't like, hey, let's just not do it online because it didn't turn out real great. It made me call a few people or message a few people that I probably wouldn't have done last night. And yeah, I probably could have done better, like talking to my team. But, and I think part of that for me is, full plate like everybody else. And then like we were going to have it, and then it got tabled. So it kind of got pushed out of my brain. And then I was like, oh yeah, tonight.
Well, is there any reason why we can't extend it through the week? I mean, is there like a particular reason why it has to be just I I get the whole point is the energy into doing it, but have it stretch out to where we're all just continuing doing it, whether you're following up and you're asking people, and I don't know. Personally, like the idea. I'm gonna have to do that. My calendar has completely fallen apart. So I mean, I'm doing that anyway. But I'm just trying to think. I don't know if that would be motivating for other people or not. But
I'm game for either. I think the benefit of having a deadline like Tuesday, 2 days after, one is because of just the rewards and the people who are putting the effort into it to meet those deadlines. But it's kind of like collecting orders for parties too. We all know that if we leave the party open for a week, we're going to order for a Lent Mit. So I think if the energy just kind of dies off, I'm open for anything. But I've certainly been talking to people the last couple of days, going, "You have till Tuesday," and they're making phone calls today. So
yeah, I would agree.
I don't know. I just
extend it because I feel like then you just kind of, I have till Friday. Yes. Not a big deal if I just push it off tomorrow. So I don't think.
But maybe from going forward, maybe we could make the residuals last for a week or something. I agree that I don't think it's quite fair for the people who've already been busting their butts to try to get them done by tomorrow. But thank you, Danielle, for saying that, because a lot of us are close together geographically, and we forget that we have a lot of people on the team who are in the radios.
I'm in Florida. I've got 2 in Texas, 1 in New York, so none of my people are.
Yeah. Well, and I like the idea of, if when we do it on, I know we're getting into too many details for this short meeting, but if we do a booking blitz next time live at our team meetings, to incorporate it, for the people who are not present. So, kind of the same rules, same structure, participate whether you're, present or not. Again, that still gets the whole team involved together versus, oh, well, this is just for in-person meeting, and oh, this is just for people who are, online. But we can work that out. We can work out those details. What's next, Megan?
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I think something we may want to look into in the future is, making sure that we are doing the booking blitz with them. I think there's something fun about knowing that we're all doing it at the same time and kind of all participating in it, like calling people ourselves, even if you don't need, bookings, just making those calls and doing that. And, having more leaders who go live and stuff like that. I think, I'm bad to just do things and they get tired of seeing my face. So I think that the more leaders that we can have, I think it'll be more fun, and really, making sure y'all take ownership of 704 Rex, because that's, your team too. So, having that for you guys as well too as leaders, I think it'll be fun for your downlines, definitely, to know that too, that we're all kind of in it together. So anyway, all right. So something that we've been looking at for a while is that pinned post that we have, kind of changing it up so that you don't get notified 37 million times when somebody new signs up, kind of taking that pinned post and putting it. We talked forever about doing a website. I have not had time to research into getting a website and stuff like that. So I sat down for a couple hours last weekend during the hurricane, and just turned the pinned post into a Google form. And so it's all there, kind of a conglomeration of information. And that way, when somebody new signs up, you can just send them that link. And that way, if they're not on Facebook, they still can access all of the information. So some of the stuff that we had as, only as Facebook stuff, like I uploaded to Google Docs. So now it's a Google link that they can get. So they can just click, even if they're not on Facebook. So anyway, that's all going to be there for them. I think we're going to make it a post that we put at the top, just that link. But then also, whenever you're, introducing people in the group, you can just say, hey, welcome to the team, whatever. Here is our team info page or whatever that you can pull resources from, and just post that link so that they'll have it instead of just constantly tagging in, all the different videos and here's how you get swabs and all that. It's all going to be in that one place. So
we could also just turn off the commenting on that post.
True.
So everybody doesn't get a million.
Good call.
Copy and paste it.
Yeah, good call. So we haven't released that to 704 Rex yet. Probably will this week, or maybe even wait till team meeting to kind of explain it. Or I don't know if it needs explanation, but anyway, that's something that is different. And then also a couple weeks back, beginning of September, I posted something about kind of monthly leader reminders, looking at your team genealogy and kind of manipulating that, and looking at what's hang on just a minute.
Steph, when are we going to make the that Google Doc live? Do you know a date on that? Oh, I can't hear you.
No, sorry. We are soon, maybe today, this week for sure. Yep. She posted it a while ago to try to make everybody look over it or whatever. we had some teeny tiny little things to change on it, but nothing big. So if you guys have looked at it, if you've got anything else that you think you could add to it, or see any, grammar, spelling, or anything like that we can just edit to make it the best it can be, definitely comment on that post in 704 Leaders, because we want it to be as good as it can when we do roll it out.
Okay. Anyway, so if you guys one thing you want to check in with is your new people. Also, this is the time of the month where in Team Genealogy, your people who are promoting will show up. And I made a video this morning that you can use that shows kind of how to manipulate your Team Genealogy, looking at how to know who's not active, because I know a lot of us went for promotions in March, and now you haven't been paid at title, which is one thing that celebration month is going to definitely help with. But a lot of you have no idea, like, if you're close to being paid at title, if you're not. So I just did a quick video this morning. I'm going to post it after this, that just shows you how to go into your Team Genealogy, how to kind of look at who's active, how to know what that is, and those who are inactive, how to know how close they are, kind of where to find that in like their last 3-month sales. So using Team Genealogy as a leader, because one thing that we noticed in last month's leader meeting was that a lot of you had questions about how to use Team Genealogy, and we were like, oh crap, like we should probably train on this. So I made a video this morning that you're welcome to use to look at that, to get kind of see where you are as far as your team goes. And then also make sure this week that you circle back around with your people who are about to go dormant. And then also your people who already are dormant. Christy, I'll let you tell them a little bit about this, but if they're dormant this month, if they come back active, they can get a $250 shopping spree. But then also, Christy was telling me that even if they they can just come back dormant this month and not place an order. Isn't that what you were saying?
Yeah. So in March, I had some dormant downline people that we went in and unlocked their account, but when it came at the end of the day, at the end of the month, they actually never placed an order. So their account was technically sort of unlocked because it was reactivate or whatever for free and back in March. So if they actually, worst case, just go in and log in and click to kind of unlock their account, it will be inactive for next month, and so they can still have their account open and available. At least that's how it worked back in March, because specifically one person, like I said, she came out from being dormant, and we went in and unlocked her account, did not place any orders at all. I guess it wasn't until June, and then that's when she went ahead and actually placed an order and engaged. So anyway, that's just kind of at least something that's nice. But obviously, if they place that $250 order, in sub A to engage, then obviously that's going to go ahead and make them active too.
Yeah.
And they get the $50 shopping spree. But
yeah.
Worst case, have them go in. If they still want to have their account and they don't want to have, even on down the road, 6 months at Christmas time, and they're wanting to place an order, have them go in and just unlock their account.
Yeah, and Christy and I joked, we were talking a little bit a couple of days ago, we may not share that information with them until like the 29th of this month. So if you have people who are working towards it, by all means, let them roll. But maybe the 29th or 30th of this month, just message them and say, hey, I don't know if you know, but it is an option for you just to log in, reactivate, and then you can kind of just go from there. They can, like you said, place orders later on down the road. But yeah, I didn't even know that was an option. I thought they had to reactivate for a reason, like to place an order, but evidently not. So
I'm sorry if you said it, Christy, but how long does it keep them back on before they go back dormant?
I'm not, but I know specifically it was March. Let's see, April, May, June, August, September. Yeah, because the girl is now gone inactive again. She just went inactive. She placed an order in June.
Okay.
She unlocked her account. So what it does is it just looks like they're inactive again.
Okay.
So just inactive, because I kept waiting until after the 3 months of her being inactive. I messaged her in June and said, hey, I don't know if your account's going to go dormant again. I don't know what's going to happen. But if you want your account, and because she had somebody who also wanted to order, I was like, you need to order before the end of this month. And so anyway, so she was good. I don't know if it gives you another 6 months of being inactive. I have no idea, but I know that she did go at least another, 2.5 basically.
Cool. Good information. Like I said, you definitely knew more about that than I did, because I did not know that was an option, and I think that's awesome. So definitely something to keep in mind as well. What else? I'm going to post the video after this about how to use your team genealogy. And then as far as the booking blitz goes for prizes, I think it's obvious, but anybody SL and above, obviously we're not doing prizes for. So I think it's great. Participate, like share all your whatevers, but just kind of keeping those for whatever, for our TCs and whatever. And then team meeting is next week, planning it. Does anyone have anybody that they would recommend to do maybe the consultant spotlight?
Is it next week?
Sorry, it's not next week. God, I always mess this up.
I'm not out of town.
No, the 8th. It's the 8th. Yes. Yeah, this month ends weird because the 1st is on a Monday. Yeah, no, it's definitely the 8th is our team meeting. So anybody have somebody in their downline that is coming or that you think is coming that would be interested in doing the consultant spotlight that night, like just somebody who's on fire or just has a good story?
I don't know if Lauren's coming yet. I could check, but she would be a good person. She started over the summer, so this month hasn't been good just because she's a teacher and getting hit with the first of the year. But her first 2 months were like 3,000 and 4,000. And I think in August she had set herself a goal for 4,000 and she got 3,600. So she's all about making goals and then trying to achieve them. So she might be someone to ask.
Okay. Well, and yes, so if you guys just in the next week, we'll just check in with people, kind of make a note of thinking of people that you might think would be good and just asking them if they are coming to the meeting. And then if they are coming to the meeting, we'll kind of see if they would be interested in sharing. Because I feel like those kind of real testimonials are important for our meetings, for people to see just all different levels of, where people are helped out, for sure. And then as far as team meeting goes, some of the things that we were thinking that we wanted to cover with that, I think it would be nice if we as leaders could kind of share an example of what we send as follow-ups to our customers. If we all kind of just maybe even combine just a screenshot of different what we send to our customers as follow-ups, so they could see different examples of how we follow up with our customers. I think that would be beneficial for our team to kind of see what we say and how we handle follow-up with customers and use that. So I don't know how we want to kind of combine that. I don't know if you guys want to just send that to us or.
Yeah, I was going to say if they want to send it to me, because I'll be using the PowerPoint for it. If you want to send them to me, I can kind of combine it with PowerPoint. We might need one of you guys, if somebody would like to volunteer that's going to be there, to kind of spearhead talking about follow-up. And then I can just have some examples that they can read through up on the PowerPoint. What do you think about that? Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if y'all want to think about, and two, we can post these things, like what we'll need help with at the meeting. And then y'all can just kind of tell what you think you could help with. That would be great. So we'll do that in the next week. Just do a post in the leader group and kind of put holes where we need stuff, and y'all can tell what you think you would like to talk about or help with. And then what else? Oh, Steph found this week the letters that we had people write to themselves. We had them do that, I think, this spring. And so she's going to try to mail them out this week to people. And it'll be interesting to see, kind of where they are in their NORWACs now versus what they wrote to themselves then. Two, I think as far as something kind of technical, because I know our team always is open to learning how to do things that'll help their business, like tech-wise. I'm going to try to do some kind of tech tip or something at the team meeting, to show them how to do things like how to make a screen recording, if they're wanting to do a screen recording, or how to do, Shift Command 4 and take a screenshot of their screen, just techie stuff like that, a lot of us use, but tech stuff like that, that'll help, kind of help be tools for them, for their business. So that's something else at team meeting that we thought would be good to share. But is there any, and I haven't looked, I guess we all get emails with October team meeting ideas. I haven't looked at that to see what we might want to use, other ideas that we may want to have for our October team meeting. So I don't know if y'all have things you think would be good for October team meeting. I know it's putting you on the spot, but.
I think just giving ideas for upcoming holiday parties, maybe just as a way to amp up the excitement to wanting to host those parties. I know for me, my goal will be doing most of those in November. So just getting people to look forward to that, and maybe that will also help with their calendars, like the whole things idea, and just sharing potential ideas to get people to want to book.
Yeah, I think that's good. I wouldn't even think, you're right though, the favorite things parties a lot of times are in November.
Right.
So October, and then at the November team meeting, we can do Black Friday stuff, amping them up for Black Friday. So,
because I feel like in the October parties that people are hosting, they'll be advertising, "Hey, book with me in December because X." But yeah.
Yeah, good call. Okay, so we'll add that too. And if y'all think of anything else, or if you have anything else, obviously, pass that along. But definitely looking forward to actually all being in the same room again. We have not done that since July, and I feel like we feel it on the team. I feel like maybe that's why the booking blitz wasn't as good. I just feel like our team loviness is kind of off right now. So I'm excited for October to all be back in the same room, to kind of get that excitement building again for our biggest months of the year, and kind of hitting it there. So, definitely be talking to your teams and getting them excited, to come to that meeting as best they can. Like I said, if you're farther off and you want to start your own meetings, we're happy to support you in that. And it may be too that we want to see if, some of our farther out girls can kind of help spearhead the online version of our meeting that night. We go live, but then also maybe y'all have some ideas for how to include more of our far out people. So definitely open to all of that ideas. I think that's it. If anybody has anything else to add or anything.
This isn't really anything real formal, but this was just something that I had done a while back, and I know with, I think, some of the online, I don't know if it's Project Broadcaster, I've seen people in Team Aqua posting their little emojis, the Bitmojis of themselves, with their follow-up for their customers. Well, there's one called Emoji, I think Emojify Me or something like that. And it turns you into a little electronic, you're moving, where you can wave, or you can do different things. And you can actually make yourself look a little bit more like yourself. So I don't know, it's kind of random, but I think that would be something that would kind of be fun for everybody if they haven't done something like that. I think that's going to be follow up, so that I just kind of will like mine is, I'm always one of them I use a lot is me waving, and it's cute. And I'm like, hey, just checking in, making sure everything's okay. And it's just a fun little, it's kind of a goofy way, but it kind of looks like you. And so I don't know if people have done that or not, but I think that would be kind of a neat, for a team, something to kind of do, and everybody could, whether it's at the meeting, but or
no, that's great.
There's a post online, everybody could kind of post. So
no, that's awesome. That'd be great. I love that idea. That's something fun too that we can all use. I've never used that. I have the Bitmoji or whatever that is through Snapchat, but I don't use it in other places. So I think that would be awesome. So yeah, I think that's a great idea.
I'll try to post what the actual app is, because I mean, you just there's so many, you can make the face wider or narrow. You can really make it look more like you, and you can save it, and it goes into your camera roll as like an animated.
I love that. That's awesome.
But anyway,
Okay.
just random.
All right. Anything else? I think total crap today, so sorry about it. I'm dead.
Thank you all for tuning in. This was awesome and lots of participation, which is good.
Thanks, guys.
And I will post this link for anybody else on your teams that weren't able to watch it. They can watch it back if they're going to want to watch it or in 10-minute long video.
Thanks, girls.
That's good. All right. Bye, y'all.